Hey guys, Jim here. And what I'd like to do for just a couple of minutes here is talk to those of you that may have ordered or pre-ordered your Brous Blades division flipper. And I want to kind of give you an idea of what it is you should be expecting upon delivery. Because, I'm fairly certain by now most of you or all of you that have an interest in this blade have already seen the review that I did on my prototype here. And hopefully that answered all the questions that you have. But there are just a few things that I feel the need to seriously impress upon people, just so that you have a better idea of what it is that you're going to be opening up. Because when you look at a knife that's this big, and I'll put it up next to a couple of other ones to give you an idea of the size. As you see, it's tremendously larger than my Bodega. Let's see, something else we might more commonly know. My 3.5-inch XM18. So you see there's some pretty big differences here as far as size goes. However, it's tremendously lighter than my Bodega. I mean, by a huge margin, like not even close. It is lighter by a skosh than my carbon fiber scaled XM18 3.5-inch. So when you get this at home, you need to be prepared that this is not going to be a heavy knife at all for its size. And that's one of the reasons why I like carrying this knife. This really has been an EDC style knife for me. This is not something I found cumbersome in any way. Just as long as, I'm wearing a pair of jeans that has a pocket long enough and deep enough for such a large knife. So just be prepared for that. And that's accomplished through two different things. Number one, the fact that both sides are pure carbon fiber. And then, of course, the interior, the liners are done in titanium. Here's the thing, though. He has skeletonized so much of that titanium. There is very little left to those frames. So there just really isn't any weight to it. I've actually talked to Jason already about building me, possibly in the future, a custom version with full titanium on both sides with the same contours and radiuses. And we're just trying to figure out, how insanely expensive that'll be. Because I'm thinking mirror polish grind, satin flats, mirror polish spine, blued hardware. I mean, I would really go full tilt. I'd like to have a dress version of this same knife. That's how much I love it. And I know a lot of you guys have already received your reloaders, and so far pretty much everybody has raved about the reloader, how great it is. And I think the union between Mikkel Williamson for the design and Jason Brous for the construction and the manufacturing, I think it was like a match made in heaven. You've got two geniuses there that are very good at what they do, and it's been a rock-solid knife. Everybody loves how it flies open. Now, I haven't held the reloader because the prototype I was going to get from Jason had a flaw that he didn't want to let out of the shop, and I get that. So I can't give a comparison between how this flips and that flips, but I mean, this is just effortless. And to give you an idea of how smooth it is, I mean, and this is a very lightweight blade, by the way. This is not like I'm having to shake a heavy blade for it to drop in. This hollow grind is paper thin. He did a fantastic job on sharpening this. As a matter of fact, I went ahead and brought a piece of phone book paper out here because I had done a little VR earlier on a cut test, and I just decided to reach and grab this knife to do it, and I was blown away at how effortless. And by the way, that's a push cut. I'm not slicing. If I want to slice, now you got to realize this is a tall blade, not overly tall for its size. But compared to many other knives that I've gotten, that's a pretty tall blade. And for it to cut back and forth like that, cutting in those arches and cutting back on itself, I don't know I have very many knives that would accomplish the same feat. Kind of hacking away at it now, though. I love this knife. I think it's incredible. I think Jason just did an amazing job in the construction, in the design, and in the sharpening. Loud, noisy paper. I've just been impressed with it overall. So again, a few of the things to be expecting. It just opens so effortlessly and lightning fast for a knife of its size. I'm truly amazed. He is using a bearing system inside of the pivot there, and that's one of the explanations. The other thing is the way the contoured carbon fiber fits in the hand. It's beautifully done. This is not a flat slab-sided knife, and there's nothing wrong with those, and when you get those you expect it to feel a certain way. But the radiused edges on this carbon fiber, this could not have been easy to achieve. So when you get it, it's just going to just lock right into the hand. And I've had people leave comments on my review saying, oh, that looks horribly uncomfortable, this sudden shift, this sudden shift in the geometry. As it sits in my hand, it's perfect. And it actually invites me to throw my thumb forward. And likewise, in a reverse grip, this is falling right between these two fingers. And it's given me plenty of room for my thumb to kind of grab onto here. So I think all the way around, ergonomically, it's fantastic. It's an ergonomically sound design. You're going to love it, is all I have to say. I mean, if yours is as flawless as mine is, I mean, it's a manufactured product. Anything can happen. Don't bitch at me if for some reason you have a sticky lock or, there's a little blade play or something. They're all going to be different. We've all seen issues with everything. But I wouldn't expect to see any. I haven't heard of any issues with the reloaders at all. And with each model he manufactures, he just seems to get better and better and better and better. So I don't know if you're going to receive yours before or after Blade. If you get a chance to go to Blade, go over to Jason's table. He's going to be displaying there. Just shake his hand, talk him up a little bit, and see what kind of dude he is. He's a pretty swell guy. But I think you guys are going to love this. I think that the most important things I want to let you know is, yes, it's going to be a lot lighter weight than whatever you have in your mind. This is going to be a lot lighter weight than that. It's going to fly open on that flipper. It is a speedy, and very, very smooth opening knife. And the way it's going to grip in the hand, it's going to fill your hand almost like an overbuilt knife. Actually, I could put this up against my Dyer wear. The Dyer wear still fills it up more because, just look how massive the tie and the CF are. But when you really look to the outer edges, there's not a tremendous difference in their thickness. This is just more squared off everywhere, where this is much more contoured, much more radiused on. There are no real sharp edges to it, whereas something like the Dyer wear, even though they do a great job and it feels, I'm certainly not going to complain. This is one of my top 3 favorite knives. But, there are edges to it, and you do feel its blockiness, even though it's a bit more of an organic shape than, say, my Medford Praetorian or other overbuilt knives, Crusader Forge, for example. You still feel some blockiness to it that you don't feel here. It's very organic. It just kind of drops in your hand. And it almost feels like he took the mold of somebody's hand in order to create this. So yeah, do be aware of that. It is going to fill up the hand nicely. It is going to be extraordinarily lightweight. And it's going to fly open super, super fast. So maybe that helps get you a little bit more excited about your purchase that you already know is on the way. Maybe it helps answer some questions that may be in your mind before it arrives. Or gives you maybe a little bit more to look forward to when it gets there. So anyway, I'm going to cut this off, make it very short. Just wanted to give you guys that look. And maybe keep you excited about your beautiful new acquisition. Wait till you start cutting shit with it. Oh my God, you're going to have so much fun cutting with this thing. And being D2 steel, you know it's going to hold the edge well. You know it's going to be tough. Even though it's a super thin grind, I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this knife. And don't be afraid to carry it, man. Don't be afraid to carry this. Have fun with it. Yeah, it's big. Yeah, it's long. That's what she said. You're going to have a lot of fun with this thing. Anyway, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them within the scope of what I'm able to. So just leave me some comments down below. And for those of you that have one on the way, enjoy it. And I'd love to hear your feedback or see some video responses when they land. Thanks.